Did you know that Inumaki uses salmon for yes and bonito flakes for no? Hey, what's up guys? My name is Karu, and in this video I'll be telling you everything you need to know about the curse speech and its user Toge Inumaki from Jujutsu Kaisen. But before the video starts, make sure to subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell icon to stay updated with my latest uploads, as I will be uploading more Jujutsu Kaisen videos. This video will obviously contain spoilers from the manga, so be warned. So, if you haven't already guessed it, Toge was born into a family of curse speech users, the Inumaki clan, who are distinguished by their family sigil of serpent eyes and fangs, which can be seen around the mouth of the user. Even though the Inumaki clan isn't as prominent as the big three sorcerer families, they're still very well respected for their ability. Toge himself is one of the highest ranking students in Tokyo Jujutsu High, given a ranking of semi-grade 1 level. In his first year, he was the highest ranking student at grade 2 before the arrival of Yuta Akotsu, and was already allowed to carry on solo missions by himself. So what does Toge's curse speech actually do? Well, curse speech is exactly what you imagine it to be. Toge can infuse his words with cursed energy, forcing all those who hear it to obey to his commands. This is mainly the reason why he only speaks in onigiri ingredients, to avoid accidentally cursing someone with his words. Cause, makes sense. Cursed speech requires the user to have high amounts of both stamina and cursed energy to wield. Also, the more demanding the command is, the more stamina and cursed energy the wielder uses up. The trade-off is that it has immense versatility in combat, capable of being used for both offense and support. However, overusing the technique can lead to harsh side effects such as extreme throat irritation, coughing up of blood, or even the inability to speak. This is why Toge usually carries cough medicine with him during fights to relieve his throat. In reality though, the technique's side effects heavily depend on how Toge matches up with his enemy. In other words, if he is facing a lowly grade 4 curse, then Toge, being a semi-grade 1 sorcerer, would receive little to no backlash from his technique no matter how powerful the command is. But the opposite is true when going against special grades or those with higher cursed energy than him. In this case, even less powerful commands would use up a lot of cursed energy and stamina than expected. We actually see an instance of this when Toge is fighting against Hanami alongside Fushiguro and Kamo. He's only able to use the phrase "don't move twice" before he starts coughing up blood from the technique's backlash. Fushiguro even notes that Toge wasn't using any particularly strong words leading up to that point, but has already reached his limit. Alright, now let's jump into the words that Toge has used in the past. As mentioned, these words can be used for both offense and support. Starting off with the support words, we have "don't move" or "stop", which is pretty straightforward. When uttered, the target is completely immobilized and unable to use their abilities. Toge has used this against Aoi Todo when he fights Fushiguro, and against Hanami as mentioned before. Sleep is another one that's pretty self-explanatory. He just puts them to sleep. Toge used this against Miwa when he calls her over the phone. And yes, that means that Toge's technique works on all kinds of communication devices, such as phones and megaphones.
Hi, 役立たず三輪です。
眠る。
Last is Runaway, which he uses on Fushiguro and Kamo when they're being chased by Hanami. Alright, next we have the offense words, which are really the cooler and more interesting ones. Toge has only ever used one offense word in the anime and manga, which is Blast Away, a very powerful command creating an explosive force strong enough to send a special grade flying. This was used in the same fight against Hanami as a last attack, even after already reaching his limit.
Inumaki senpai, それ以上は。ぶっ飛べ。
Now when I said that he's only used one offense word in the anime and manga, I'm not completely wrong. He has only used one, but he's used way more in the prequel, Jujutsu Kaisen 0, which talks about the life of Yuta Okkotsu for those of you who are interested. So we'll include those in here as well. First we have Explode, which causes Toge's target to explode. We can see him use these on a swarm of weak curses when they attack Yuta. Then we have Get Twisted, which forcibly twists a part of the target's body to the point of complete dismemberment. Get Crushed, which basically causes the target to self-implode until they're basically nothing. And lastly, Fall Down Under, which is pretty much a super heavy field of gravity that crushes the target until they're sent underground. Kinda like in those cartoons. Now you may be wondering, how come Toge can hit his enemies with his power, but not his allies? Well, there are two answers to this. Number one is that part of wielding the cursed speech technique requires the user to know how to focus it on the selected targets. Otherwise, the power will spread and hit everyone. Yuta Okkotsu actually praises Toge for being able to manage the spread when he himself uses the technique. Secondly, Jujutsu sorcerers who are aware of Toge's technique can actually protect themselves by moving some of their cursed energy to a section of their brains that controls ear function, essentially blocking the words from being registered by the brain. Noritoshi Kamo says that it's particularly annoying to deal with, as you constantly have to be on guard as Inumaki could always be nearby. But yeah, that's gonna be it for this video. I hope this gave some insight onto Toge's character and his abilities. Let me know if I've missed anything. I'm hoping to do one on Maki Zenin next, so let me know in the comments if you guys want to see that. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.